Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Welcome to the Anant Katha channel. Today I am fortunate to narrate this story, and you are equally blessed to hear it. For this we thank the Lord. According to the Devi Bhagwat Purana, in the Ikshvaku dynasty, there was a Chakravarti king named Mahabhisha who pleased Lord Indra by performing thousands of yajnas and eventually attained heaven. Once, King Mahabhisha visited Brahmalok, where all the deities and the divine river Ganga were present, serving Lord Brahma. At that time, a gust of wind blew away Ganga's attire. All the deities lowered their heads in modesty, but King Mahabhisha fearlessly gazed at her. Ganga, too, was drawn to him. Observing this, Lord Brahma became enraged and cursed both of them to be reborn on earth as mortals. King Mahabhisha pondered who among the righteous kings on earth would be suitable as his father in this mortal realm. He chose Maharaja Pratip of the Puru dynasty. At the same time, the 8 Vasus, along with their wives, visited the hermitage of sage Vasishta. Among them was a Vasu named Dio. His wife saw sage Vasishta's beautiful cow, Nandini, and asked her husband whose cow it was. Dio replied that the cow belonged to sage Vasishta. He explained that anyone who drank its milk would live for 10,000 years and retain eternal youthfulness. Hearing this, Dio's wife said she had a friend on earth, the daughter of King Ushanar. She requested Dio to bring Nandini along with its calf so that her friend could drink its milk and become immortal and free from ailments. To fulfill his wife's wish, Dio conspired with the other Vasus to abduct Nandini. When sage Vasishta returned to his hermitage and found Nandini and her calf missing, he searched through the forests and caves but couldn't find them. Using his meditative powers, he discovered that the Vasus had stolen the cow. Enraged, sage Vasishta cursed the Vasus, declaring,
"The Vasus have insulted me and will be born as mortals."
The Vasus, distressed by the curse, approached sage Vasishta and sought his forgiveness. The sage relented, saying,
"7 of you will be freed from this curse within a year of your birth. But the one who led this act, Dio, will live in human form for a longer time."
The cursed Vasus later encountered goddess Ganga and pleaded to her,
O Divine Mother, we are immortal beings destined to be born as mortals. This thought troubles us deeply. Please be the one to give birth to us in human form.
The Vasus requested Ganga,
O Goddess, there is a royal sage named Shantanu on earth. Please become his wife and give birth to us. Deliver us into the waters after our birth so we may be freed from this curse.
Ganga agreed. The Vasus returned to their respective abodes, while Ganga began contemplating her course of action. Around this time, King Mahabhisha was reborn on earth as the son of King Pratip, named Shantanu. King Pratip had performed intense penance to Lord Sun, as a result of which a beautiful maiden emerged from the water and sat on his right thigh. King Pratip asked her,
"O maiden, why have you sat on my right thigh without permission?"
The maiden replied,
O King, I have come to you with a special desire. Please accept me.
King Pratip responded,
"You have sat on my right thigh, which is considered the place of a son or daughter-in-law. When I have a son, you may become his wife."
The maiden agreed and disappeared, and King Pratip returned home. When Pratip's son Shantanu grew up, and Pratip wished to retire to the forest, he recounted the earlier incident to his son. He instructed Shantanu,
"If this beautiful maiden approaches you in the forest and expresses her desire, accept her without questioning her identity. Marry her and live happily as husband and wife. This is my command."
Having said this, King Pratip handed over the kingdom to Shantanu and retired to the forest for penance, where he worshipped goddess Bhagwati and eventually attained heaven. King Shantanu took over the reins of the kingdom and ruled righteously, protecting his subjects. One day, while hunting near the banks of the Ganga, he saw a beautiful maiden with eyes like a young deer and a body adorned with ornaments. Seeing her, Shantanu realized she was the maiden his father had described. The maiden also recognized King Mahabhisha, reborn as Shantanu, and fell in love with him. Smiling, she stood before him. King Shantanu, struck by love, spoke to her in a gentle voice.
O maiden, whoever you are, a goddess, human, celestial nymph, yakshini, serpent maiden or apsara, please become my wife.
Shantanu did not realize that this maiden was none other than Ganga herself. Ganga, however, recognized Shantanu as the reincarnation of King Mahabhisha. Responding to his proposal with a smile, Ganga said,
O king, I know you are the worthy son of Maharaja Pratip, who would refuse a suitable husband. However, I will marry you on one condition.
Ganga laid down her condition.
Whatever good or bad actions I perform, you must not interfere or say anything unpleasant. The day you break this promise, I will leave you.
King Shantanu agreed. Thus, Ganga became his wife and moved into the royal palace. Ganga and Shantanu lived together for several years, filled with love and joy, unaware of how time passed. They enjoyed their life together, resembling Goddess Lakshmi and Lord Vishnu in their divine abode. After some time, Ganga conceived and gave birth to a son. However, as soon as the child was born, she cast him into the river. Similarly, she drowned their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh sons in the river. King Shantanu, deeply troubled by these events, thought,
How will my lineage survive if this continues? If I stop her, she will leave me, and my 8th son may also be lost. I must find a way to protect my lineage.
When the 8th son was born, who was none other than Dio, the Vasu who had stolen sage Vashishta's cow, King Shantanu pleaded with Ganga,
O Ganga, I have endured the loss of 7 sons, but please spare this 8th child. I beg you. I wish to raise this child.
Hearing his plea, Ganga initially tried to take the child away. Enraged, Shantanu said,
O wicked woman, you are destroying my lineage. This child will remain here. I cannot tolerate your actions any longer.
Ganga, angered by his words, replied,
You have broken your promise. Now I will leave you, taking this child to the forest to raise him. I am Ganga, and I came here to fulfill a divine purpose. Sage Vashishta cursed the 8 Vasus to be born as mortals. 7 of them have been freed from the curse as your sons. This 8th Vasu, however, must stay on Earth for a longer time.
Ganga continued,
This 8th Vasu will grow to be a mighty warrior. When he matures, I will return him to you, for a motherless child cannot be truly happy.
Saying this, Ganga disappeared with the child. King Shantanu, grieving the loss of his wife and son, managed to carry out his duties as a king. One day, while hunting in the forest, he saw a young boy by the banks of the Ganga, displaying exceptional skill in archery. Astonished by his prowess and beauty, Shantanu asked,
Oh boy, whose son are you?
The boy, however, vanished without answering. Shantanu felt it might be his own son. He worshipped Ganga, and pleased by his devotion, she appeared before him. Ganga revealed that the boy was their 8th son, whom she had raised. She said,
O king, this boy will bring great glory to your lineage. He has been taught all the Vedas, scriptures, and the art of archery. He has mastered all knowledge while living in sage Vashishta's hermitage.
Ganga handed over their son to Shantanu and disappeared. Overjoyed, Shantanu embraced his son, kissed his forehead, and brought him back to the city. Shantanu returned to Hastinapur with his son and organized a grand celebration. He consulted astrologers to determine an auspicious time, and in the presence of his ministers and subjects, declared the Ganga-born prince Bheeshma as the crown prince. With this noble son as his heir, King Shantanu lived happily and soon forgot the sorrow of losing Ganga. Victory to the Mother Goddess.